Hello, fellow loomers. So, in this video, I am introducing these edges and trimmings, which are very pretty, lacy, and then they have the a significant part, element of these trimmings are the scallops or the buntings or these, pointed ends, which adds glamour and an extra layer of beauty to your knits. So in this video, I'll demonstrate how we create these curves. You can see these zigzag or these round curves or these angled shapes. They are created by a series of increase and decrease, and the decrease is bind off here. So once you know how this is done, it is easy for you to pick up any of these trimming pattern and knit a nice beautiful border to your shawls or to the blankets or sweaters or wherever you want to add them. I'm currently writing a book, but in the meanwhile, I would suggest that you all practice with this pattern. And in order to demonstrate how we create these curves or these shapes, I'll use this pattern which will be available for you all to practice. Let me show you how to knit this diamond lace edge. It is a very simple beginner level lace edge pattern, which is a flat line because it is garter stitch. And here is the pattern. It is 16 rows and 13 stitches. Now, I would like to draw your attention to these two symbols, which is this M. M is stands for make one more stitch, which is make an E-wrap stitch, which basically increases. See, it goes like this. It is increased. And then halfway, there are these semicircle half moon kind of symbols, which means here you will start binding off. So in the instruction, it is uh, symbolized, it is abbreviated as BO, that is bind off, and M is M1 here, which means make a new stitch or make one E-wrap stitch and knit it. So let me begin. This is a 13 stitch pattern, but we will first cast on 9 stitches. And as I knit, you will know that why it is knitted on lesser stitch than what the actual pattern is. I'm adding one more. This is the black one is from where I start, and the first stitch marker, this red stitch marker signifies the or is the 9 stitch, and then there are 4 more pegs, this second stitch marker, which we will increase and decrease. We will the decrease and increase will be by 4 stitches. I'm adding one more additional here so that I can slip or turn around. So cast on 9 stitches. The black one is the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And cast on is very simple. I have E-wrapped, and then I'm gonna purl all of it up to the edge. The thing to learn in this video is and focus is how I increase and decrease in these 4 stitches, which are from here to here, to create the shape. You can actually make this a part of a shawl or a blanket, because when I knit a shawl, from here to here is the edge, and then I do all the decrease and increase on the right side, and the lace border is knitted on the left side. So I'm right now knitting it on the left side, right? So there is an establishing row, which is an all purl row. 9 purl stitch. It is not, it is a zero row. It is only for establishing. It's not a part of the pattern. Knitting row 1 now. Row 1 is from left to right, and it starts from a M1. M1 is make 1 stitch. So I'm making this stitch like, see, I wrap the peg twice, okay? And then I'll knit it. And here you have to tighten it. I generally, when I knit laces, I don't tighten it, but this requires tightening, okay? So you have made one, and now there is an SSK and yarn over. So you will lift the stitch from right side, bring it to the left peg, and this is SSK, and here, and then there is yarn over and knit one, and then yarn over and knit two together, and knit 4. These are units. When you are unitting, hold the working yarn a little loose. Don't pull it, don't tug it. Only pulling is done when you are making new stitch, M1. Okay, slip a stitch, and then now you see 10 stitches are cast on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And second row is purl 10. All the way up to the 10th peg, it is purl. I'm writing a book of these edges and trims. This video would help you understand how to decrease and increase the pattern in that book. So this is like a test or kind of a practice for everyone who's interested in learning to knit these beautiful edges. And row 2 is complete, and row 3 starts from row 3. It starts from make 1 stitch, SSK, yarn over, knit 3, yarn over, K2 together, and then 3 units. So let's do, this is how we are increasing. See, 1 more stitches, cast it on. So now there are 11 here. It is SSK. So we have done SSK, yarn over. I've knitted that, and now unit 3, unit 1, unit 2, and unit 3. Then yarn over and knit 2 together, and then unit 3. 1, 2, and 3. Row 4 is all purl. Knitting row 5 now, that starts from 1 M1. By now you all know how to do this M1. And then there is SSK and yarn over, SSK, yarn over, knit 5, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've knitted 5 units, and then there is yarn over and knit 2 together. So lifted the yarn, place it back on the right side, knit and yarn over and knit 2 together, and then unit, 2 unit. And row 6 is all purl. Knitting row 7 now. Row 7 starts from making a new stitch. Now this is the last of this 13th peg pattern, and I've casted on the last of the 13th peg, and it's the same pattern, that is SSK and yarn over, and 7 units. Unit 1, unit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then yarn over and knit 2 together, and 1 unit, which is the peg 1 of the pattern. This is the slip stitch, and purl all. When we finish purling this, all 13 peg would be casted on, and now this was the increase side of the pattern. Increase happened. Now we will start decreasing it to create that beautiful wedge or the V shape or the scallop, whatever you call, which gives a lovely look to the lace edging. Okay, I've completed the row 8, which is all purl, and now from row 9 decrease starts, that is bind off. So row 9 starts here. We will bind off. Let's see how we bind off. We will slip the last stitch, wrap around the second last stitch, which is the 12th one, and then pick it up and bring it back here and knit this and place this back on the 12th stitch. So see, one stitch is binded off, and now the 9th row calls for, this is already a bind off knit. We will knit this, and then it is yarn over and K2 together, yarn over K2 together, and then knit 3, unit 1, unit 2, and unit 3, and then again knit 2 together and yarn over. This is knit 2 together, yarn over, and knit 3, knit 1, knit 2, and knit 3. Row 10 is all purl until the last stitch when we start binding off. Row 11 now starts from a bind off. This is how I bind off. See. And then knit 1 and knit 2 to get yarn over and knit 2 together, and knit 1 and it is knit 2 together and yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, and unit 4, unit 1, unit 2, 3, and 4. Now you see it is decreased to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stitches. We have to decrease 2 more stitches. So let's begin row 12, which is purl, and row 12 is all purl. Row 13 is bind off. Okay, first bind off, and then there is 1 knit and yarn over, knit 2 together. Oh, sorry, it's not yarn over, knit 2 together. It's central double decrease. You'll lift up a stitch from either side of the CDD peg. CDD peg is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh peg from the first peg of the pattern, and we'll lift a stitch from sixth peg and an eighth peg and bring it all three on the seventh peg and knit all three of them together. It is central double decrease, and then knit unit 5. So there is a yarn over on each side. Knit 1, knit 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now all the yarn overs are complete. This was 13th, but we have one more peg or one more stitch to reduce decrease, so that we get back to our 9 pegs from where, or 9 stitches from where we start the pattern. So the row 14 and 15 is all purl. Row 14 is all purl. Row 15 is all knit with a bind off at the last peg. Right, so let me show the last bind off as well. So we have completed knitted until row 14, and there are 7 rows of eyelets here, or yarn overs, and now we'll be binding off row 15. So row 15, bind off. You see, we are back to 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. These stitches are empty. When we start the pattern again, then all these would be knitted. And there is no eyelets on this. It's simply units. And the last row, which is 16th row, is all purl. So row 16 finishes. So it's row 16 complete, and then you go back to e-wrapping 4 one by one, make one, and repeat the pattern, and you see this nice wedge